Yo, what's up guys, Jack here, and today we've got some more juicy details and information on Battlefield 1 I wanted to share with you guys, and also say a big thank you. I've picked up around 26,000 new subscribers in the last 7 days, which is just absolutely mental. The Battlefield hype train is in full swing now, it seems. And a cheeky little factoid before we get stuck in here: the BF1 trailer was the 15th most viewed video on YouTube within 24 hours of its release. That's crazy. And it's also the most liked trailer in YouTube history according to Forbes. If you look at the rankings, the only type of videos that have more likes are music videos. Everything else in terms of other games, movies and TV sits below the BF1 trailer. I'm sure the guys at DICE are very happy about that one. So then, what have we got to look at? Well, check this out. Canadian retailer EB Games have this image up on their website as promotional art for the BF1 pre-order bonus, the Hellfighter pack. And as you can see, some cool details in here. To start with, the Hellfighter M1911, confirming what we already guessed and what we thought we saw in the trailer briefly. This iconic pistol will be in the game, and I'm assuming these are alternate skins for the weapons, which is good to see. Obviously, we're not going to get anything as crazy as the sort of skins we see in CSGO. That would just be bad and it wouldn't fit in a serious World War I environment. It looks like DICE are going the sensible route here and producing skins that have noticeable etchings and markings on them instead. This is stuff that actual soldiers did during the War II. To the right of that, the Harlem Hellfighters insignia. Wear this emblem to show you're belonging to the elite Hellfighter unit and instill fear on the battlefield. These will most likely go on your left shoulder, I think. Here is the original. These dudes were actually a real American unit who fought during World War I. And then on the bottom left, the Hellfighter trench shotgun with the Hellfighter insignia and Men of Bronze etched into it. Also, it looks like it says "Go Forward Through France 1918", and this is most likely modelled after a Winchester Model 1897 trench gun. And then finally, the Hellfighter bolo knife with 369th etched into it, representing the United States 369th Infantry Regiment. We know that melee combat will be a big part of the game, so plenty of weapons on offer there. By the size of this bolo knife, I'm guessing it will have a shorter range, but you'll be able to swing it quite fast. Not more on there really, apart from the fact that if you get this edition of the game, you'll have 7 days early access to a new free map released at some point in 2016. Moving on, a couple of snippets from interviews with important people at DICE who are working on the game. The first one comes from Daniel Berlin, here interviewed by GameSpeed, asking the question about launch stability. Daniel replied, "It's a focus for us. We know it was a difficult launch. We've been working on this for a long time. We released Battlefront, which did really well. We're pushing an open beta to ensure stability, and we've taken a lot of learnings from that experience, and we feel like we succeeded with Battlefront. We'll take everything we learnt there and apply it to Battlefield 1 as well." Obviously, BF4 had a very bad launch when it was released, with crashes, instability, terrible netcode, which thankfully all got cleaned up by DICE LA and Visceral. After that, we had the launch of Hardline and Battlefront, which to be fair were fairly stable upon being thrown into the world. So fingers crossed DICE keep their eye on the ball with BF1, learn from lessons in the past and gather enough info from the open beta. Things like netcode and stability have to be rock solid when BF1 goes live, otherwise it'll be another stain on the Battlefield franchise, and all of those new players picking up a Battlefield game for the first time will not be impressed. I'm remaining cautiously optimistic for now. And the second interview is with Alexander Grondel. This comes from Eurogamer. Alexander here commenting on the new pilot and tank classes. The idea with those is that you should be playing the main weapon of the tanker, which is the actual tank, and that's the weapon you pick for it. We want to dedicate yourself to being in the role you choose to be. We think there's a strong fantasy in that. That allows us to create more unique flavours on the different classes and the gameplay around them, what kind of equipment they bring with them into the battlefield compared to the other classes. They have their unique weapons and gadgets that they bring in. So it looks like the pilot and tank classes will have their own unique weapons, #confirmed. He also goes on to elaborate a bit on the bayonet charge and the gameplay thinking behind that. Firstly, you've got to put your bayonet on your weapon. Basically, you charge up and run. Anyone who gets stuck in your way is probably going to have a hard time. You commit to a charge and off you go. Now from that, it sounds like if you begin a bayonet charge, you're going to be fully committed to it until your soldier runs out of steam, you contact with an enemy, or you bump into a solid object or wall, or of course if you just get shot. No way to cancel it perhaps. That actually could be detrimental to gameplay, taking control away from the player, but I understand that what they're going for here is more of a risk, reward, spur of the moment kind of thing from the player. I personally can't wait to set up a 32 versus 32 bayonet charge on a flat piece of land and see who comes out victorious. That sounds like fun. If you want to check out either of these great interviews, they're both linked in the description below. I also saw this interesting Reddit post by a guy called Warp. He guesses as to what sort of weapon customization we'll see in Battlefield 1 and uses the Gewehr 98 rifle as an example, showing us 5 different sights that could be used on the weapon, 2 different barrel length variations, and in terms of accessories, we've got stuff like the bayonet of course, and rifle grenades, or how about the sling length and material it's made of that could actually affect stats of the weapon such as stability, accuracy and recoil. Even attaching silencers and telescopic sights was possible too, along with adjusting magazine size. And this goes to show that there's actually a surprising amount of customization of weaponry in World War I, and I'm sure we'll see all of that stuff and more in the game. The thread is linked below if you want to go and have a look at it. And finally for today, it's been announced that you'll be able to go hands-on with BF1 during the EA Play events on June 12th in Los Angeles and London. As far as I know, anyone can sign up for these events. You don't have to be press or YouTuber or streamer or anything like that, and I've linked the sign up page down below too. And there we have it. That's pretty much all of the BF1 related news and info I've uncovered in the last day or so. I'm putting together a massive detailed video on the weapons of World War I/Battlefield 1-2, so if you're interested in seeing that, do consider hitting that subscribe button for more. If all goes to plan, that should be released tomorrow if I can finish up editing it in time. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down, and I'll see you in the next one.